In response to this pre interview assignment, I have chosen a topic that's very important to me. Um, I've chosen factors to consider when creating and reviewing online courses. Now, in my professional uh, experience, as well as education and training, I've come to learn that there are five core elements or factors that I consider to be important to creating and revising online courses. They are as follows: quality assurance standards, online student engagement, assessment practices for online student learning, faculty training and professional development, collaboration with internal and external stakeholders. So we'll begin with quality assurance standards, often referred to as quality matters in higher education. One of the key elements of quality assurance is the standardization in courses. The courses have to be unified in format in terms of the what we call the course shell and the ingredients that go into the shell or the components. Now, obviously, that's going to be pertinent to the actual subject area, but the courses should read the same in terms of the design appearances to a certain degree, and also what we call those shells. They should be prescribed. They should be developed and created and be available for the faculty prior to the start of the term, and those essential elements of the shell should be readily available. The syllabi in the courses should be standard in format, again, specific to the subject area, but in terms of the format and design, should be similar throughout the department and quite often throughout the university. Uh, Faculty introductions and announcements. These should be key elements of the course. This is an opportunity for the faculty to go in and introduce himself or herself. Quite often, our learners come to this teaching and learning environment a little on edge, and this is an opportunity to introduce oneself, provide a little ethos, and also give a little more background and then kind of lay the groundwork for expectations and then make any general announcement that he or she needs to make regarding the course. This next element, online scoring rubrics should be visible in the course. We all know as a principle of pedagogy or hudagogy or andragogy that learners perform best when they know what they're going to be assessed on. So in that rubrics, we identify how they're going to be assessed, equate that to what's being um, measured, and then the standard for performance in those individual assignments. There should be standards in grading and feedback, what what each assignment is worth or how it's weighted, the turnaround time and grading, and then also with feedback, what they should expect from the professor. Course reviews are important. This is when the faculty manager and or the program chair, program director, and in some instances the assistant dean or whomever will go in and review the courses prior to the start date to ensure that the course is open and available to the students. Typically, it's been best practice in my experience that that generally happens within 48 hours before the start of the class. And then classroom observation. This is once the class has began. A standard is that individual, that being the faculty manager, whomever he or she may be, should go in and observe the class virtually. In terms of online student engagement, instructional technology tools are very important to keeping our learners engaged. Some of the techniques include computer-based learning, adaptive learning technology, which is doing really well in higher education, instructional videos, tutorials, media developed activities. These are so successful in our online classes. Now, I had the opportunity to work with a number of different media developers with the design of the course. I cannot speak intelligently about what they do and how they do it in the terms that go into describing it. I just know the finished product works very well for the learners and it really engages them. Discussion boards is another instructional technology which creates a platform for the learners to interact in an asynchronous capacity, but still it gives the learners an opportunity to respond and have conversations with one another. And then the instructional strategies. This is very important in higher education. The SOTEL approach, actually, which is really doing well in higher education, has done so since probably about 1990 when it was first introduced, which speaks to the scholarship of teaching and learning. And some of the principles are some of the approaches you want to use under this instructional delivery methodology are peer networks, practice based learning, uh, collaboration, grouping, student led approaches, and also one of the principles of asking questions to get our learners to engage in higher order thinking. And as a part of that, as the faculty leader or the classroom leader, this person wants to ask questions and then hypothesize about the potential outcomes and what this teaching style will do, and then take those results under the SOTO approach and then recycle them, put them back in the instructions. Um, which we'll talk a little more about that later, rather the SOTO approach. Cooperative learning is another aspect factor. Diversity, and not just diversity in people, but also in ideas, as it speaks to the inclusiveness of the classroom in the materials that we bring and how we want to get others involved. And then meta exploration teaching techniques should also be a part of this attempt to engage learners online. And another area that I've conducted research on is assessment of practices for online learning. How we measure learning, what is the approach we're using. We want to use what's proven to do well is competency-based curriculum, adaptive learning programs, which utilizes a modular approach that typically has a diagnostic at the beginning of instructions, a knowledge check-in somewhere during the middle point of the instruction, and then at the conclusion, summative assessment, which all ties in to the adaptive approach. And then performance-based assessment and also authentic assessment are also assessment types that we want to use in online learning to ensure that our learners are actually matriculating well in the course, which speaks tremendously to the SOTEL approach, which has student learning as the focus of what we're doing as faculty members. And then faculty training and professional development, again, another principle of SOTEL. We want to continuously ask that our faculty stay abreast and we want to give them the tools that they need to perform well in the classroom. We want to start also with learner management system. The system that we're using, we want to provide ongoing training for the faculty and also for the learners. At the onset of the course, we could have tutorials available that help them to navigate through the course, quality in service requirement, quarterly in service requirements for the faculty that allows them to continue their research agenda, and also in this capacity, we want to provide professional development training for the faculty. I've chaired a number of faculty development and professional development committees across multiple campuses. And this is very instrumental in getting the faculty involved and helping them keep abreast of what others are doing in the classroom, and then also throughout the profession. I guess somewhat of a kind of a meta professional development, a collaboration approach. Faculty governance and curriculum development revisions. We want to get the faculty involved. We want to know that they own the curriculum and help them get involved with the direction of the content. And faculty evaluations are key. I am a proponent again of assessment. And in this particular case, we're talking about assessment of faculty. I think it should happen at the mid-year and the annual points of the term or the year, I should say that, the calendar year. And then also we want, as another factor, collaboration with internal and external stakeholders. Definitely with the design team in an online environment. We want to get those guys involved in the development and revision processes. I can't speak enough of the media developers, subject matter experts, faculty, industry leaders, administrators, advisory boards, and other administrators throughout the university. We want to get those guys involved in collaboration with the design and revision of the actual courses. So that essentially is my presentation within the allotted 10 minutes. Uh, these are my references, and I eagerly await to speak with the committee on the 14th.